My interests in second language writing and in using technology in instruction were mostly sparked by my work in the classroom. So I went to graduate school in the mid-90s, and so we were just learning how to incorporate things like the internet into teaching and learning. So we were very excited about the possibilities that technology offered to the classroom, and I was interested in how to use those technologies most effectively for learning to write. At the same time, I was studying how to teach English as a second language, or to teach English to speakers of other languages. And so I was interested in how technology can help facilitate both that language learning process and also help their development of writing skill in general, both for ESL students and for your native English speaking students. So a lot of my research interest came out of my work in the classroom. So much of my research is very applied. Second language writers can be students who are learning to write, but English is not their first language. But that can include a wide variety of students. We tend to immediately think of international students. So students who come to the US to study and speak English as a second language. But that can also include students who are resident ESL students. So they live in the US, they maybe went to high school in the US, but English isn't necessarily the language that's used at home. They might have grown up bilingual. Their parents might speak another language even though they grew up speaking English. So there are all different levels of English language learning that are kind of under that umbrella. In the work that I do at North Carolina State, we also work with a lot of students who speak a variety of dialects of English. So they're still native English speakers, but they might have maybe a rural Appalachian dialect. And so they're learning to work in academic English, which is very different for them, but sometimes the same principles of language learning apply to them as well. I think one of the things that sustains me in my research now is the excitement and the energy that my students bring to what I'm doing. Both undergraduate students, but also now the graduate students that I work with, the new ideas that they have about studying technology, especially in the classroom. As an example, one of the projects that I'm working on right now with a graduate student is looking at the way that students' engagement in the classroom is affected or not affected by the presence of technology. So how present are they in the classroom when they're online, they're engaging in other things that are outside of the physical classroom? How does that affect their attention and their focus and their achievement of learning objectives? And those kinds of ideas and the ways that some of my graduate students can help me rethink my focus of research, I think, is really exciting, and that helps sustain it and propel it forward. There are two research projects that I'm focused on most right now. One is researching flexible classroom design. So thinking about how do we design classrooms in a way that will best help facilitate the kind of collaborative work that we want students to be doing in a writing classroom, but also make it flexible enough that it'll fit several different needs. You can move the classroom around in different ways to facilitate different kinds of activities. And this is a project I'm working on with a graduate student of mine, Dana Girdowski. We've designed a classroom at NC State where all of the furniture basically is mobile. So students and teachers can move the classroom around in different configurations if they want to. We have LCD screens that surround the room so that students can use an LCD screen to project their work if they're working in a small group. Or a teacher can project onto all of the different LCD screens various things that he or she would want the different groups to look at. Another project that I'm very interested in is looking at the ways that composing in different modalities with different media impacts our writing, and thinking about where that fits in a first-year writing class. At NC State, our program is, it has very much of a writing in the disciplines approach. So it's academic writing, and we look at writing in different academic disciplines. So students study writing in the humanities and the social sciences and the sciences. So one of the things I'm interested in as a research question right now is what kinds of modalities are students composing in other disciplines? So when they get into their biology courses, their engineering courses, their nursing courses, their design courses, what media are they using for composing? What kinds of things could we be doing to prepare them for that move so that the writing that they're doing in our classes is relevant for what they're going to be doing later on in their academic careers. So that's one area of research I'm really interested in, and I can see that affecting what we do in the textbook in the future.